Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video we're going to talk about the dangers of overtraining. I received this comment. Let's go through it. The commenter writes, "It's hard because fitness really is a solitary path. You can't partake in eating out, drinking, and social gatherings like others can. I lost a lot because of my addiction to fitness, probable body dysmorphia, and low self-esteem. I've been like this for 11 to 12 years, and there's probably no looking back." Okay, well, I received that comment last year, and it took me a while to compose a response, but first I want to say, commenter, I really hope that you're still alive and that you're doing better. These issues that you bring up, exercise addiction, overtraining, body dysmorphia, possible eating disorders, it's my obligation to inform you that those are incredibly serious and possibly life-threatening conditions. So this video hopefully will convince you and others like you to step back from the edge. This is YouTuber Scott Murray when he was at the peak of his fitness. As you can see, he had extremely low body fat and extremely advanced muscular development. Unfortunately, Scott suffered from exercise addiction, overtraining, and mental illness. In the next 3 or 4 years, Scott was to completely degenerate physically. These stills were taken from his last video on YouTube before his tragic passing away at the age of 27. As you can see, Scott suffered from many eating disorders. Scott knew that he had a problem. In fact, Scott posted this video about overtraining, and Scott explained how he would often sleep for only 4 hours a night. He maintained 4% body fat for year in and year out, and he had no rest days whatsoever, no recovery in 4 years. Scott also posted this video. Scott suffered from self-imposed social isolation because of his eating disorders and his exercise addiction. Scott would protect the addiction by staying far away from anyone who might influence him away from those behaviors. His friends and supporters and viewers tried to intervene. They would ask Scott what he weighed. He was supposed to be bulking. He would say he was on a perma-bulk. He was always trying to bulk. But when asked simple questions like what his current weight was, Scott would evade the question. He would say that, I just have not had time to even step on the scale. This was deception, and he did not want to be accountable because he was losing weight on a bulk. This is how Scott's story ended. He passed away, and this was his funeral, which was posted to give closure to his friends and to his supporters. A tragic tale. Aside from drug use, I have never witnessed anyone completely annihilate themselves physically with the ferociousness that Scott did. Scott suffered from psychosis. He had had a break from reality. I believe he had binge eating disorder, as well as exercise anorexia, as well as an addiction to overtraining, possibly a mood disorder, possibly many other mental disorders. As to why he developed these mental illnesses, it is possible that it was trauma from his childhood. Scott made a video explaining that he was the victim of bullying when he was younger. Scott actually held a master's degree in nutrition, but his mental conditions contradicted what he knew was right nutritionally. Scott used social media challenges to hide or justify his behaviors. For example, in this video, he tried to eat 10,000 calories, which is possibly binge eating disorder. But in order to justify it to himself, he would say, it's just for the views, it's just a stunt. In this video, he tried to lose 25 pounds in one day, which sounds just completely over the top. But again, when you combine this with his mental illness, it was a way for him to justify his behaviors in his mind. I hate to say it, but if he was not on social media, he may still be alive. He was also known for eating foods that were extremely unusual for a bodybuilder or fitness professional. There you see the children's cereal there. He would often bake cakes. He would bake brownies. Here he made a McFlurry, but he added protein powder, but it's topped with M&Ms. Some deep dish pizza. Keep in mind, Scott maintained 4% body fat while eating foods like this. Again, a giant brownie with frosting and M&Ms. He maintained 4% body fat while eating things like this. So you can only imagine the extent to how much he overtrained. It's likely he would probably work out maybe like 10 to 12 hours per day and then only 4 hours of sleep. He also was known to chug the pre-workout caffeine, and according to Scott, he would also sometimes drink an entire bottle of just diet soda. Scott passed away at the age of 27 from heart failure. When you lose all your body fat, you begin losing tissue from your organs, your bones, your brain, and your muscles. The heart is a muscle, so it is possible that his extreme program year after year after year weakened his heart, and the trouble could have also been triggered from excessive use of pre-workout and caffeine, and we don't know what else he was on, but stimulants certainly are not good for a weakened heart. Scott will live on, hopefully as a warning to those who may follow in his footsteps to choose to take another course of action. You know, addiction of any kind is an extremely serious matter, and if you feel that you're going down this same route, you need to seek out professional help in whatever capacity is available in your area. Now, simply for making this video, I have no doubt that I will be attacked by people who believe that the problem is not that this tragedy occurred, but rather that hearing about it made them personally feel bad and, it ruined their evening. Well, when you choose to watch a video, that's voluntary. Nobody has to watch, but I certainly make no apologies for trying to steer people away from self-destructive courses of action. So if you can't handle these videos emotionally, you can seek out other content elsewhere.